Wow. This seems pretty amazing to be driving the Audi after so long. I think it's 5 years since this thing's been out, so it's got to go down to the... Obviously I've done quite a lot of work on it, making sure it's fit and ready to go. So it's on its way down to the garage RT Mechanics in Haslemere, for them to finish doing some bits and pieces on it, and then I've got a car back on the road. Amazing. Actually, while it feels strange to have a car back on the road, it also kind of feels normal, this being, you know, the last car I've driven of my own car, not Sue's car. I'd say it feels alright. Feels good. All looks good on the gauges at the moment. Got a fairly long walk back from the garage, I think probably about 3 miles. So got some cameras with me, obviously. Got the small bag with the less squeaky strap. So that means I've just got the X-T20 with the 15 to 45 and the X-Pro1 with the Zonlai 22mm. I've also brought the Minolta FD 50mm and f1.7 just as a slightly longer option. But that then is it for today. I think if I'm bringing the action cam with me as well, it's not a lot more I can fit in that bag. Maybe I can shuffle it around a little bit to kind of maybe get the, instead of the 100 50mm 75mm equivalent, instead of the 50mm Minolta, I could perhaps get the 50 to 230 in there if I was to shuffle things around, but I don't know. That'll take a little bit of messing around with the internal compartments and that sort of thing. But, or maybe I could put the action cam part into a different section. You know, there's some fiddling about I could do to get more in there, I think, if I wanted to, but in some respects it's good to have a bit less in the bag. So that's probably what I should be aiming for, is having a bit less in the bag. Nearly at the garage now. It's a couple of 100 yards, I think. Wow, we're here. Okay, let's get ourselves sorted. So this is the cross-country walk back from the garage. I'm now at Mount Alvernia. Heading down to Wagoner's Wells, and from there I'm proposing to take a new route up to Ludshott Common. We had a lot of rain the last few days, some of it really heavy, so the path down here, as you can probably see, has been pretty kind of eroded, and because this is a byway, you do get people, and you can see the tracks, you get people coming up here and down here in 4x4s because it's quite a challenge. yeah, it's a reasonably, yeah, I guess it's a challenge for a Range Rover or a Land Rover or some such. I've been down here, up and down here on mountain bikes many times, as this used to be my route, or part of my route to the station, when I used to commute from Haslemere into London. So I used to push most of the way up, because this is really steep, and then cycle down. It's a good route away from the main roads and stuff, and it is beautifully quiet out here. And you can just see how green everywhere is. It is a lovely place. Unfortunately, when it starts to get towards, and the clocks go back, it makes it pretty difficult cycling down here unless you've got really good lights, because there's a lot of ruts, roots, and the rocks get washed down, so you have to be pretty careful in the dark, because you don't really want to get... I mean, I've come a cropper a few times down here, but you don't want to be going a cropper in the dark in the middle of nowhere. So we're almost at the bottom now. We're going to rely on the Garmin to get us onto the right track when we get to the bottom. So there's that. We've got some other walkers down here as well. Or at least some noise. No, some runners.
Wednesday was hearing my other best friends here that hire
Yeah, just some runners. So we're almost down to Wagoners Wells. Not sure if I've done any video down here, but it is really very pretty. I might just take a walk just to the first lake there, or first pond, before I go up the other side. Although actually, yeah, I can walk through to the pond from this side. It's raining a bit now, which is most unusual for one of my walks, obviously. But there you go. It's just, as usual, it's just nice to be out and about in the countryside and away from the roads. And the first part of this walk from the garage where I dropped the car off was sort of, I don't know, semi-urban, I suppose. This is quite a nice little scene. The ford in the ford across. I think it's called Cooper's Stream, actually. This, which runs into the ponds at Wagoners Wells. And the path we're going to take to Ludshott is up the other side here somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the pond and then come and find the path towards Ludshott. Let's go take a quick look at the pond first. Wow, it's wet through here, it's muddy. But then we've had a lot of rain, so yeah, I think actually the path is up there. Oh, there's a seat here, I didn't realise that. Not much of a view really, just here to be honest. It is amazing how much tree growth there is. Yeah, a lot of tree growth out there. And you can probably see the raindrops on the water. I've got my rain jacket with me. Not really intending to use it, to be honest. Okay, going to take a look at the Garmin now. And see if that was the path we needed. What I did was I've marked a waypoint that's halfway along the path between Wagoners Wells here and Ludshott. I think, although the Garmin says something completely different, i.e. that says we should go up to the left, I think the path is that one straight up there. Oh, I can hear the rain as well now, it's getting heavier. Not sure what that stone is. Might have to look this up. Why? There's an inscription. So Robert Hunter, KCB, and his lifelong work for open spaces. Wagoners' wells were purchased and dedicated to the public by his friends and neighbours, December 1919. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Don't know how many times I've been past this stone either. Many hundreds of times. It's always worth stopping to have a look, because you can learn something new. In fact, I'm going to stop and take one or two pictures here before we move on and catch up later. So we're on Ludshott now, and this is a path I sort of recognise. Sure, I've been along here loads of times, but some of these paths, you know, they tend to all look the same a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this is one I've certainly been along this year, this probably early summer, springtime. Just swing the camera around. The great thing about these paths is they're so sandy, so yeah, Ludshott is really quite a sandy area, so it doesn't get too muddy even when it's raining. And we've had more rain this morning, and very light rain this morning, but yesterday it rained all afternoon, kind of locked in heavy drizzle, which was well, is what it is. Probably not what you expect for August, but there you go. You can expect anything nowadays from the weather. So I've taken a couple of shots on the way up here, but I feel as though I could do with just a few more rays of sunlight, a few chinks through the cloud to give us, just give it a bit of a lift. Oh, look at that. Having said that, now comes the sun. But goodness me, it's only going to be there for like a few seconds and then it'll be gone again. Which really, unless you're actually waiting in a position, is a bit, and I do really want to get back home at some point soon to get a drink. Because I was out fairly early. I suppose I left home about 7:30 to drop the car off. But for me nowadays, that's fairly early, so looking forward to getting back and having my coffee. So if the sun pops out again, I will have a go at taking some more photos. I have to say, I'm enjoying at the moment leaving the X-Pro1 as a kind of a dedicated black and white camera. It's quite liberating not having to worry about colours. And whilst I'm also enjoying messing about with the recipes, particularly I'm enjoying the Kodachrome 2 which I'm using at the moment, I do feel that to get the best out of that, the light needs to be right, and I worry less about the light with the Acros simulation. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. So if I get the opportunity, I will take a few more photos on the way back home from here, but it's drizzling again now, so I don't know. We'll see if anything comes up, anything takes me fancy, I will be on it. Otherwise, I'll be off it. I hope any viewers who have watched my videos before have noticed that I'm using the I can't remember what the hell it is, Low Pro Stealth Reporter 200 all-weather, and it's got a little rain cap on the top as well as the big as well as the big rain cap that I used last time I was out, big rain cover. So it's got, I found another pocket, another zip pocket in it, with yet another feature, another the rain cap, which is very useful rather than the big rain cover which goes over the whole thing and stops you opening the lid really. Useful if you're trekking through a deluge and you don't even want to get your cameras out, but if you want to be getting your cameras in and out like I have this morning and it's showery, then the cap is ideal, I would have said. And I know now I'm definitely on a route I've walked across here many times because I just passed the bridleway sign, which is a 4-way crossroads sign thing, which I think features in some of my photos that I've posted previously. So yeah, we're on the way home, and that's it for now.